Are you someone who's wondering whether you should go with fostering or not? Or if it's easier to just adopt, which option should you go for? If you're someone stuck in the situation, well, then that's exactly what I'm going to discuss here, the benefits of fostering a dog. Well, without much further ado, let's go. Hello everyone, welcome to the Happy Puppers. I am Dr. Shruti Bhattacharya, author and owner of thehappypuppers.com. The blog link will be there in the description, so go ahead, check it out. It contains articles about dog care, psychology, training, and everything related to dogs. Any kind of tip and trick you are looking for, that is your place to be. So please go to Happy Peppers. If you want, you can subscribe to the blog so I can send you weekly newsletters about what's latest from the dog care world. Well, in this video, I'm going to be discussing why should you foster dogs. Now, before I get into the nitty-gritty of the whys, let's first understand what is a foster dog. Like, why should you foster dogs at all? Now, foster dogs are dogs who come from a variety of backgrounds. Now, these are mostly dogs who go to the shelter first. You contact the shelter gives you a dog to foster. Now, these dogs could have been through a variety of conditions in their life so far. It could be a case of abuse where the previous guardians have abused them. It could be a case of neglect where the guardians totally neglected to look after the dog and the dog was just left outside, or maybe in a corner of the house, or maybe in a very small place. It could be anything. Or the dog may have lived its life on the street and has now been provided shelter in an animal shelter, but does not know how to interact or socialize with humans and other animals. It could be anything. Or it could be that the dog is suffering from trauma, anxiety, fear, depression, a variety of factors. So these dogs usually land up in the shelter, but they are not ready to be rehomed yet because of their ongoing problems. Because a person who's looking to adopt a dog may not be ready to, be able to handle the problems, the psychological issues that the dog has. So the purpose of fostering is to provide the dog a stable environment, to show the dog that he can trust humans, he or she can trust humans. The world is a beautiful place, and whichever home the dog goes to, he will be loved. He or she will be loved. So the purpose of fostering is to really open the dog's eyes to how the world truly is and show him or her that abuse, neglect, and those steps are not really common, and he can have a full, happy, and healthy life. Now, let's understand why should you opt with fostering a dog. Before I start, if you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe button, ring that notification bell, set it to all, because if you don't set it to all, YouTube will not notify you whenever my video goes live, and I post something or the other almost on a daily basis. Happy Peppers videos go out on Tuesdays, Shruti and Delta videos go out on Sundays, and in between we've got cute shots, we've got informative shots, so please go ahead, subscribe to the channel, and those who are coming back, well, very warm welcome to all of you. Alright, let's get into it. Why should you foster dogs? Point number one. Obviously, it makes a huge difference to the life of the dog and in your life as well. You provide that dog with a fresh start. You give that dog a second lease on life. The dog who has known probably nothing about humans gets to know humans. The dog who has known humans to be these really ugly, demonic people gets to know that that's not actually true, and humans are amazing and they love you and they will protect you. And dog who has aggression, fear, can overcome them, and you play a huge role in the dog's life and show them how trustworthy and lovable humans can actually be. Point number two, it saves lives. Now, there are many shelters across the US which are high kill shelters. When they reach their maximum capacity of holding animals, they start to euthanize the dogs. And fostering a dog gives the shelter a bit of a respite, and they have more free space, and they can bring in more animals, and they can help save more animals. And you can do your part by fostering a dog so that the dog learns that the world is a better place. The shelter does not have to euthanize the dog either. Point number three, you learn responsibility. Now, If you're someone who's never had a dog before, but you are planning to get one, this would be a great way to figure out if you are fit to have a dog or not. Because having a dog is not only about playing and feeding, it's also about committing a significant amount of your time to your dog's well-being. You have to play with your dog. Your dog will not play by yourself, especially if your dog is anything like my kids. They do not play by themselves. They do not play with each other. They have to play with me. So if you foster a dog, you will be able to learn commitment, what it is like to commit to a dog. You will learn time management. Your dog will follow a set schedule every day. You cannot change that schedule. If dinner's at 5, it has to be at 5. It cannot be at 6, 7, or 8. If walkie's time is 4 p.m., it has to be 4 p.m. It cannot be 12 a.m. in the night. So you learn how to manage time, how to figure out when you can be with your dog, when can you work, juggle multiple responsibilities. You learn to provide care to an individual. Caring for someone else can give you a purpose in life. If you're struggling with mental health issues, you understand that there is one creature who loves you unconditionally, and sometimes that is all you need just to, go on to another day. I'm also a mental health blogger, and I understand the importance of having animals in your life. They can literally provide you with a second lease on life as well. Especially if you're someone who's struggling with anxiety, depression, having dogs around you, having dogs close to you, cuddling with dogs, cuddling with any animal, hearing that steady heartbeat can help you control your anxiousness, control your anxiety, bring your heart rate down, makes you feel better, causes release of serotonin and oxytocin, which are all the good hormones and which make you feel better, loved, and like you belong in this world. So it's a two-way street when you foster a dog. Not only provide benefits to the dog, you get benefits in return as well. And also, well, obviously, a very important point is that you have an active lifestyle. You cannot just not go on walks. Come on, that's like, oh, what are you saying? You have to go on walks, you have to go on runs, you have to go to the activity course if the dog has that level of energy. You have to always be quick on your feet. Designing toys, like that's something I have to do all the time. Designing toys so my boys can stay busy. You learn so much. You truly learn so much. Point 4, as I said, if you're not ready to get a dog, this is a great test run. So you do a test run to see if you will be an amazing guardian, or where are the areas where you need to improve, and you go on improving as you go on fostering, and then when you're ready, you actually, most of the cases, a lot of the cases, people don't have dogs and go in for fostering land for adopting their first foster dog. These are called foster fails, and those are the most beautiful stories I have heard till date. So you, if you're a foster fail, well, I am so happy for you. But it teaches you so much. As I said, you learn if you're really ready for a dog or not, and if you're not ready, you need more time. It's okay, that's okay as well. Fostering your dog is not a you're not committing to the dog for a lifetime. You heal the dog feels better, the dog gets adopted, the dog goes to his new home, and you get the time you need to mentally and physically and house-wise prepare yourself to get actually adopt a dog for yourself. Point number 5, you help with the socialization of dogs. Now, as I said, a lot of these dogs have not been socialized before, the ones who belong to the shelter. Now, this could be because they've never lived in an area where there are humans. They may have been abused or neglected, so they have a very different vision of people and other animals than a normal dog. So what you do is you help socialize the dog. You take the dog to the dog parks. You introduce to the dog to the other dogs if you have dogs at home already. You do all of that. You make the dog sociable. That increases the chances of that dog getting adopted. You also provide that dog with a fresh perspective. As I said before, you show the dog that humans are not that bad. The world is not an awful place. It can be really beautiful if you have the right people sticking out for you. You bring out their puppy nature. A lot of these dogs have forgotten what it is like to do zoomies because they have been living in a constant state of fear and anxiety, and they are worried about who will hurt them next. And in shelter, because there's not a lot of place, a lot of these dogs don't get regular exercise. They don't get to meet up with other dogs. They're just living in a kennel, Maybe going out like once a day, maybe shelter people are busy and happens, does not happen. A lot of socialization actually does not happen there. So the dog forgets what it's like to truly be a dog. And when you provide that comfort, safety of a home, and love, the dog's true personality starts to thrive and they start to do zoomies. And honestly, those are one of the best moments I have seen. Those are literally the best moments. Nothing compares to that. Point number 6, the emotional benefits of having a dog. As I said, if you have anxiety, depression, if you are very, very stressed from your work, but have the time to maintain a dog, then there is nothing better than fostering a dog. Because you are making a difference to the dog's life, and knowing that you're helping another creature become better makes you better. It makes you feel more thankful for the things that you have. It makes you more positive gratitude wise. You also realize that the world is a better place because there are dogs in it, and in turn you receive joy, a constant, literally 24/7 companionship. You cannot even go to the bathroom alone anymore. You receive fulfillment. The dogs, well, there is not a dog who's not goofy. I haven't seen one. So that goofy nature brings out a lot of laughter, and laughter again causes release of happy hormones. And like when I'm telling you about the emotional benefits, I'm honestly feeling happy because I'm reminded of everything my kids have done, which have made me laugh over the years. And it helps in case you have anxiety or stress, as I mentioned before. But make sure that you can commit to the dog. Don't just get it for the emotional benefits that you can have. You also have to provide emotional benefits to the dog. So you have to first figure out your lifestyle and if a dog is suited to that or not before you take this step. Point number 7. This is a great way to support the shelters. As I said, the people who work at the shelter, the volunteers, they are unsung heroes and they deserve a bit of help as well. So when you get a dog, you foster a dog, the shelter people can get a brief respite, they can help more animals, and there are also many special needs dogs who may have a urinary bladder dysfunction or may be paralyzed or may have any any kind of health issue which requires round the clock care. It becomes very difficult for the shelter people to focus on that one dog's many needs and the needs of all the other dogs as well. So if you can help the special needs dogs, it gives them a lot more free time to go out and help other dogs who really need help. Point number 8, you can choose which kind of dog you want to foster. A lot of the people make their home a hospice for senior dogs who are close to their end of life age stages, and they provide end of life care. And senior dogs have so much love to give. So you can either go for senior dogs, you can go for puppies if you are thinking of becoming a dog guardian in the future. If you don't want that puppy energy and the constant shark bites, then you can go for adult full grown dogs, or you can go for special needs dogs if you have that much time to take care of the dog 24/7. If you've got someone who can be with the dog all the time, you can go for special needs dogs as well. Point number 9, you make memories you never forget. Now, the place where I live in, I usually interact with dogs living on the streets. These dogs have not been picked up by the shelter. So my fostering is kind of bringing them in when they are sick and releasing them back out when they are okay. So I had Buddy live here for like 3-4 days. She still is coming in and out because her sister tends to rambunctiously play with her and does not care if her sister gets a sprain. So that's how Buddy landed up with a sprain. And she was here for a few days and she felt better and she started doing zoomies. So, seeing the transition from a puppy who is so scared and so frightened and afraid that she'll get hurt to the point where she knows she can jump anywhere and no one's gonna say anything. That is that's a reward in itself, to be honest. So you get heartwarming cuddles. Buddy loves cuddles, Teddy loves cuddles, Alpha, Oreo, Winston, all the 30 kids I take care of, all of them love cuddles. So when I go, I get punched, pummeled, cuddled, hugged, kissed, all of it, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. That feeling is uncomparable, trust me. So you remember these things. I have lost many dogs along the way. Things don't always work out in our favor, and I have lost a few kids, and you can see them on the channel. I have vlogs of them. You can see all of them. But that pain always stays. I will be honest, that pain always stays, but it also motivates you to go ahead and do more, help more, be there for them more. So it changes you as a person. It fundamentally brings a change in you, which you cannot ignore. And finally, point number 10, you build lifelong connections. Now, if I go from this place and I return a year later, I know each and every one of my kids will remember me. Dogs form bonds and they don't forget. If they love you till the last breath. So you can build a community of like-minded people who all of whom care for dogs and are involved in actively caring for dogs from the shelter, fostering dogs. You can exchange tips, tricks, discuss what works in what situations. You in turn have a positive impact on the society. You encourage others to also go out and foster dogs and help them and provide them a loving home. And finally, you promote the culture of adoption and fostering instead of buying from the breeders. Every dog is amazing. If you ask me which breed I love, I say I love all dogs. It just has to be a dog for me to love. Even a cat would do. Or, I mean, any animal. Animals know so much more about love than we do. But since dogs are most prevalent here and I haven't seen a cat in years now, I'd say dogs. Dogs are simply amazing. Like, when you adopt and you post pics and you show the world how happy you are with your dog, other people also get excited and they also want that happiness for themselves, and they also go ahead and foster. So you set out a change, you make a positive impact, you change the world one person at a time. So if you haven't thought about fostering, I hope this video makes you think about fostering, and I hope you enjoy the process and have a lovely time with your dog. With that, I will see you guys in my next video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. Subscribe, like, ring the notification bells, share this video with those whom you want that they should also foster dogs. Discuss it with your family, your friends, and if you haven't started, well, start today. See you in my next video. Bye.